Okay, we finished the exocytosis. Now we talk about the opposite process, endocytosis. Endocytosis they define as taking in the substances by forming vesicles. Again, the vesicle is part of the cell membrane by invagination, and then you pinch off from the cell membrane and to become intracellular vesicle. Intra means inside, cellular meaning cell. That means this vesicle is inside cell. There are three types of endocytosis: phagocytosis, pinocytosis, and receptor-mediated endocytosis. Phagocytosis, you can see it most commonly in the white blood cell, especially in those macrophages. Pinocytosis, it literally means water drinking. Sometimes cell will engulf the solution or water outside of the cell to replenish the loss of the cytoplasm. Receptor-mediated endocytosis, it has something to do with a specific molecule that get into the cell. So phagocytosis, I told you that macrophages and amoeba, they use phagocytosis. Macrophages use phagocytosis to kill virus or bacteria. Amoeba use phagocytosis to eat food molecules. Pinocytosis is like water drinking. It drinks water. Liquid, a small part will dissolve in the liquid. So certain blood cell and plant root cell, they use pinocytosis to absorb water. Receptor-mediated endocytosis is a type of pinocytosis, but it involves a coated pit. So what happens is that the cell membrane will express certain receptor on the surface, and when the receptor is bind with the substances, then when it is bind with that interest substances, then the invagination or endocytosis will occur. After it occurs, then the receptor and the substances, they will become internalized in the intracellular vesicle. So this is the highly specific. So this is phagocytosis. It's basically by amoeba. This is the amoeba paramecium. So the amoeba is trying to use the pseudopod, the thick foot, try to engulf the paramecium. This is the example of pinocytosis. Just they want to drink water or replenish the cytoplasm. Receptor-mediated endocytosis, it is the binding of a specific solid. Binding of specific solid on the receptor on the surface of the cell membrane trigger the invagination and endocytosis to form a vesicle. So cell membrane cell surface can be modified. Of course, we have secretion, we talk about that. And then plant prokaryote fungi, they have cell walls. So I'm going to do the type of cell surface. One is called extracellular matrix, or we call it ECM. You will see ECM, this acronym, it means extracellular fluid. It's basically the fluid that are bathing the cells. The fluid are bathing the cell, those are the extracellular fluid. In other words, cytoplasm can be considered as one of the intracellular fluid. And outside the cell, you can also form junction to connect cell and cell together. Both the ECM and the junction, they can be associated with cytoskeleton and also contribute to cell-cell communication. Extracellular matrix. Extracellular matrix, they are composed of proteins, polysaccharide, and most importantly, they should have water. They also have a lot of water. Some example of the protein that you can find in the ECM extracellular matrix is the collagen. Remember, I told you that in the earlier lecture, the organic chemistry, the biological molecules lecture, I told you that protein. What is the function of collagen? What is the function of collagen in human? I don't give a tips. What is the function of collagen on human face? I'll tell you the answer in the next video. You should have remembered that from the earlier lecture. And then elastin, as the name suggested, it is elastic. It makes the tissue more elastic. Fibronectin is an adhesive protein that links integrate. So the molecule that you find in ECM, it can help it can link other molecules together. It can link integrate in this case. So polysaccharide, you have learned this. Polysaccharide is like a lot of glucose joined together. A lot of glucose joined together, and then you can also attach an amino group attached to a protein. Then we call it proteoglycan. Protein means a protein. Glycan means a lot of glucose joined together. It's like glycogen. Proteoglycan. Proteoglycan can help to maintain the cell shape because it resists the compression of ECM. Also, it assists the signaling, cell-to-cell signaling and regular passage of the molecule through ECM to plasma membrane. So our cells, they are well protected against being poisoned by those cell signaling molecules that can go through ECM. Now we talk about junction. Junction. We have three types of junction. What is junction? You know, in between cell, you must have some glue to glue them together, so that they will not break apart, to fall apart. The glue that glue the cell and cell together, we call it junction. You have adhesion junction, intracellular filament. They use this intracellular filament to connect cells to cell. Tight junction. We'll talk about more about it. It is impermeable barrier. You will find tight junction in your small intestine. Gap junction. Gap junction, the cell membrane are joined so that the cytoplasm, they are continuous. Allow direct communication so that they will all do the same thing. It is faster. Now we talk about cell wall. All plants have cell wall. But all animals, I would say all mammals do not have cell wall. Pectins allow the cell wall to stretch as cell grow. And then when the cell mature, non-cellular polysaccharide will cure. It's like curing the cell wall to make it harder. And I keep saying that the joints, they are for gluing the cell together. It is done by pectin. Then plasmodesmata is a channel that connects to the adjacent cell. And cytoplasm connects all the cells within the plant if they have this plasmodesmata. Oh, okay.